Hello YouTube, my name is Mackpie. And I'm here today to share a very special item that is a favorite of my Twitch viewers. So I thought that I should take some time to share it with you as well on YouTube. This is my table tennis paddle and it makes quite nice sounds. And I thought that today we could carefully, methodically, and deliberately examine this item to figure out why it makes such good ASMR. Before we get started on our examination, I'm going to just take a quick moment to clean it up. I'm going to use this brush to get any debris or little hairs or fuzzes off of the paddle. Not for the wood. And now for the black side. This is my spray bottle of water. Normally I use it for my plants, but today we are going to use it to wet a tissue and to clean the table tennis paddle. I have a tissue here. I'm just going to fold that into 8s. First I'm going to start with the black side. Getting the edges of the paddle and around the arc. And now we are going to clean the red side. I'm going to do some horizontal strokes across the paddle, then the edges, first on the bottom, then around the arc. And then I will take the other side and do some swirls. Just a little bit on this bit of plastic here. Dry it off a bit. There we go. So now that we have our nice clean paddle, I'm going to start by taking some measurements. Here's my handy dandy trusty little tape measure. And we're going to use it to gather some dimensional information on the table tennis paddle. It's very small, but very powerful. At the widest point, it is approximately 6 inches across. And it is just over 10 inches in length. The handle itself is 4 inches even from the edge of the handle to the start of the rubber. The width of the handle is 1 3/8 inches. I only have my trusty measuring tape today, so unfortunately for all of you in other countries, no metric measurement. The width of where the rubber meets the wood is approximately approximately 4 inches, so it's almost a perfect square between the handle and the rubber. If we look at the depth, it is exactly ½ inch. This specific model of this item is called the Prince Precision Racket, and it is a tournament level racket. Let me grab my pointer. This is my bamboo pointer so I can more carefully examine the item. The rubber is dual-sided. This side is a red rubber and it is 2 millimeters thick. There is a wood composite between the two rubber layers. Between the red and the black layer, there is wood, rubber, and this circumference of binding tape. It is a quite textured tape. And it follows along the entire outer edge of the racket. The handle is made of composite wood with a plastic inlay with the Prince logo. This is the black side, and it is also a 2 millimeter rubber material. One of the reasons why this is one of my favorite items to stream with is because it makes so many interesting sounds. So I'd like to take a second to analyze and listen to the various sounds that this item makes. First, the sound of fingernails on rubber. And now on the black side, we're going to listen to the fingertip tapping with the pads of my fingertips. And now a combination of the two. Far away and up close. I think that the sound of fingers on the rubber sounds quite similar to raindrops when you're inside on a cozy rainy day and you can hear the sounds of the raindrops outside on the concrete or the road, plus the sharper, more sound of the raindrops on your roof and windows. I think that's why I find it so cozy. Now let's listen to the sound of the tape on the side of the paddle. It's definitely a more subtle sound, a little quieter, a little more dink, dink, dink. Another interesting feature of this rubber is that when you squeeze it, it sounds almost sticky. The handle is quite interesting as well because you have the combination of sounds between the thinner wood right here with the thicker wood, which has a denser, almost hollow quality to it and is a little deeper. And we also have the logo as well, which is of course made of a plastic material, and it has a much more artificial, sharp sound. All of these create a very different auditory experience within one item, and that's why I find this so interesting. I like to use this paddle on Twitch to set patterns and then break them. For instance, I might set a pattern of 3 repeating with fingernail tapping, equally spaced out. I might do some close ones, some far ones, and then at some point I'll break the pattern. This is a technique that I personally learned about through Raffy Taffy ASMR. He does it so well, and I like to incorporate it into my ASMR because I find it just so satisfying and tingly. There's also a sound that's quite different when you scratch the wood. Normally scratching is not quite my cup of tea, but I think it sounds quite nice on this wood, as well as a smoothing sound of the hand going over the rubber. Tape on the edge. Let's do some more squeezes. Now that we've gone over this item, I think that we have a better, more thorough understanding of why it creates such good tingles Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful